Moshpit Kickoff show. There will be 3 matches as a part of this Kickoff show for one of the most bloodiest matches or the bloodiest events in SWA history. Yes, here you can see Austin King, who pretty much as he will technically be a part of our opening match for the Kickoff show. And most fans in the arena are pretty much not in their seats at the moment. So yeah, pretty much the entirety of this arena is not even packed up yet, as the show officially starts sometime around 7 o'clock. And here is pretty much, or not pretty much, but here is Lance Phillip, pretty much in the Sacramento, pretty much in the Sacramento Stadium. And it's also the same area where we get to see Britt Alexander. So technically, she's gonna feel right at home in Moshpit. Huh? Yeah. So currently, at the moment, at this very moment, you can even get a good look of the XWA Moshpit stage. And here we go for the Kickoff shows. Lance Phillip already starting off hard, putting Austin King down, and saying that although I may deserve a spot on the official match card, I'm actually alright with just fighting you off here tonight. That's Lance Phillip just from showcasing any feats of strength, facing off against Austin King. Well, nice shoulder, but Austin King managed to counter. Clean right hook straight to Lance Phillip, and some mounted punches also being dealt with. And see that for a second, it's looking like Austin King was gonna try to attempt to target the arm of Lance Phillip. So looking like it's not working out for him. Pretty much managed to eat the simple elbow from Austin King. It's looking that this may be Lance Phillip's fight to lose. But kick into the lower midsection. Also about the draft, unfortunately the draft will be done off camera, as we'll be writing down names on a piece of paper and then announcing, pretty much who is going to Onslaught and No Limits in a community post a week prior to this. So for those that are actually paying attention to the community post I'd be throwing around, then you might want to stay tuned for it. Now looking at Austin King now taking almost a bit of control into this matchup to try to like grind Lance Phillip's face into the top springboard rope. Definitely not a good time, and first follow headbutt shoulder down for Austin King. Lance Phillip kicks out at 1. Just looking at Austin King is trying to rev up the engines. And here he goes for the running hip attack. Straight onto the face of Lance Phillip. And a super kick connects. Look at that. Austin King. I have a possible way of doing it with the King splash, hooking the leg. Lance Phillip kicks out before 3. Right there's the spear. And Lance Phillip hooking the leg of Austin King. Austin King ends up kicking out. So of course, if I do sound a bit tired, that is because I just got back from doing shit outside my own home. So I may be a little bit gassed out. It may take me a few minutes to get, well, for us to get the main show up and running. As I have been informed that the rest of the camera crew are pretty much working double time to make sure everything is pretty much working. And as you can see in the entrance for both of these men, that the lighting is not exactly correct, and and they have informed me that it's going to stay like that for possibly the rest of the whole pay-per-view. Well, PLE, whatever. And Lance Phillip with some impressive athleticism over the top rope, but missing her to stomp on the outside. We see that Austin King might be able to capitalize here. As the rest of this match is going on, you get to have a little bit of commentary free match that I have to go ahead and kick. So of course that's seeing that Austin King will be your winner of match 1 of the Kickoff show. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our second match. And we have seen some predictions for the highly anticipated match of tonight. And pretty much MYS's quote-unquote alter ego versus Soyi, in which has been stated that MYS's his overall leg injury that he ended up sustaining at a live show pretty much from a month ago, it seemed like it has suddenly gotten worse. So this may be both Soyi's and MYS's last match. For MYS, technically he'll probably just take a break just to let the whole leg heal. After Soyi, his contract just expired roughly yesterday, meaning that this will be his last official match. So of course, as we are seeing predictions on who will win the match, many people are putting their predictions on MYS will pretty much defeat the American Death Trap, tonight. But then again, we have to look at Soyi. He has accomplished many things before the allegations end up surfacing on what he has done pretty much in the past and present, in which this is coming from the XWA team saying that they're gonna keep these allegations under wraps until they feel like it is the right time to release them, or they probably never will release them to the public. Well, to the public, and they will be pretty much private, in which that's what they are saying going forward. And apparently we are seeing Amanda Bryce's lights playing, although it should have been Allison Drake, but I guess it's too late to tell her to stop now. And you can see Amanda Bryce with her pretty much her SWAT team attire, and this would technically be the first pay-per-view that Amanda Bryce would take part in. Now, for those wondering where is Amanda Bryce's friend Caitlin Carter, she was the one that really got her attire ready. And originally Caitlin Carter was supposed to be coming out, but pretty much was supposed to be like accompanying her best friend, as the television for both of them would be their first Moshpit, or their first ever pay-per-view in the XWA. However, there was a change of plans. So, pretty much, Caitlin Carter would not be showing up. But other than that, here is Samantha JP. And here is a returning, Amanda JP. Well, no, not Amanda, but Samantha JP is her actual name. And maybe people were trying to speculate, where has she been ever since XWA Danger Zone? Well, she's back, and she's actually better than ever. She said she decided to take a break from in-ring action for just a little bit because she felt too gassed out. But now that she's back, and people are actually happy that Samantha JP is back in action starting tonight. Also, we will say something about the SWA draft. Most champions will be staying on their respective brands. And as for the SWA heavyweight champion, Mr. Blue, the heavyweight champion can actually be thrown to multiple, can actually be put into both No Limits and Onslaught. So technically, in this case, only Cobra and the two members of the House of Pain, Money Making Matt and Forever Jimmy, unfortunately will have to stay on their respective brands, holding on to the XWA titles, that being the Underground titles. But as this is Moshpit, and most XWA Underground stars will be making their impactful run in this pay-per-view, you will see some champions show up. Maybe pretty much that's what we're hearing right now as the fight is going on in the background, that the House of Pain had pretty much came in and clocked out every single time, and they done enough to where they managed to get, well, pretty much some tag team gold. As for pretty much possibly switching hands at the end of their match, most people are saying that the House of Pain will have some way to retain the belt. And pretty much, if they don't end up retaining the belts, then they're gonna have to resort to their plan B in a way. Now, what do they mean about plan B? Nobody knows. However, for the Lopez brothers, they are feeling extremely lucky tonight, and actually quite surprised that House of Pain managed to accept their little title challenge rematch. Well, their title rematch, but on Moshpit. So that's actually a sight to behold. So now, with that over and done with, people already have casted in their votes overnight. Hence the reason why there was no SWA Underground last night, because most of our staff and our crew were trying to get all the tech and everything onto the planes and trucks and managed to head all the way from where we were supposed to be in Los Angeles for, well, Underground, but instead we ended up going all the way to Sacramento, California. Well, for obviously this paper you see here, the Face Breakers, done by Amanda Bryce. But it seemed that Samantha JP managed to somewhat shake it off, but Amanda Bryce possibly doesn't know it, hooking the leg for Amanda, and Samantha JP kicked out too. So yes, many people had casted their votes. So pretty much there have been, like, currently right now there are 19 votes. Pretty much 19 votes for the Lopez brothers to win if pretty much if the stars are perfectly aligned. While the rest of the XWA universe have voted on the House of Pain to retain. Looking at Amanda Bryce's eyeball, is Samantha JP taking flight with a ringside trump card hero. And looking at Amanda Bryce have landed the wrong way as she saw her lady grabbing her rear in a way. Or at least grabbing her ass, just making sure she had to at least broke a cheekbone. In which, surprisingly enough, she hasn't. And it's looking that this fight could pretty much go on forever. Just yanking Samantha JP almost close to the steel stairs Now just throwing her onto the other side. Just looking at Amanda Bryce trying to take out the trash as the ref count is still going. Just looking at Amanda Bryce. Don't want to try to inflict much damage onto Samantha JP as she tried to cave her whole skull in. And now Amanda Bryce is just pointing down Samantha JP. And looking at Amanda Bryce wants that count to not reach the 10 as she launched herself to the outside. And stomp onto what seemed to be the right arm. Samantha JP big boot connects out on ringside. And it's already looking that we have just reached pretty much as it just turned 7. The show is not going to start soon. But now, with a face breaker performed by Amanda Bryce, hooking the leg. And looking at the ref was distracted. And possibly being distracted by what seemed to be in the crowd. Well, pretty much on an unexpected someone in the crowd. But judging for what the ref is seeing, we don't even know who's under the black hoodie and a black mask. So I guess we're gonna have to perform an investigation pretty much in the crowd for that is in attendance tonight. See like a little bit at both women are trading punches at each other. And look at that, Samantha JP is saying, come on, well come on then, let's go. And see that looking at Amanda Bryce decided to answer, and nobody has won the trade and blood battle, but now Amanda Bryce pretty much is going for a ride. Pretty much the code blue from Samantha JP hooking the leg. Amanda Bryce kicked out at 2. What can both of these women do to keep at least one another down in this matchup? And looking at Samantha might have only one last move left in her sleeve to take down Amanda Bryce. And looking at maybe a dangerous one and a superplex into the middle of the ring, but Samantha JP gets up out of it with impressive ease. And it's looking at she wants Amanda Bryce up into some sort of diving body splash, but somewhat misses its target. And an elbow drop straight to the chest of Amanda Bryce. I'll tell you one thing, the vest that Amanda Bryce is wearing is actually doing her some good right now, because honestly, I would not be on the receiving end of that elbow drop, because it will hurt like hell. Not only on the person that's doing it, but pretty much on the receiving end. It's looking at Samantha JP is just trying to figure out any possible way to keep Amanda Bryce down in the kickoff show. They're now just yanking Amanda Bryce onto one side of the hard cam ringside. Not hard cam, but the crowd, pretty much for the crowd side, for the camera, now just trying to pick up Amanda Bryce and slamming her directly onto the mat face first, and looking like Samantha was going to try to do it again, but Amanda frees herself, and Amanda takes down Samantha JP. And the ref count reaching 5. Both women have to realize that if both of them stay out of the ring, that both of them could be disqualified and being put into a no contest. Samantha JP tried to fight back. Well, against Amanda Bryce, ref count reaches 8, and what is pretty much Samantha JP attempting, the ref count reaches 9, and back inside the ring for Samantha JP. And same going for Amanda Bryce before the 10 count was called. So both women barely made it into the ring as the fight ended up continuing during the kickoff show. Now for Amanda Bryce, pretty much taking Samantha JP into a series of clotheslines and following it up with a pullback drop kick as both women are down for the count. And looking at Amanda Bryce, managed to get herself up, having a little bit of stamina left in the tank. And there is the headbutt of doom from Amanda Bryce, hooking the leg on Samantha JP. And that is it. Pretty much sending Samantha JP packing. What the fuck? So yes, as you can see, Amanda Bryce will be winning in the kickoff. I tell you, she might just live her dream of being at her first pay-per-view. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as I just got word that pretty much the final match will just be the final match for the kickoff show. It's actually against a newcomer. It's actually against a newcomer, let alone the IRL best friend of Britt Alexander, and that would be Dallas Carmelo versus Allison Drake. Now, given the fact Dallas Carmelo has just made it into the XWA, she's already have been put into Underground. And we're seeing both yellow and red lights. Here is Allison Drake. Wow, for Allison Drake, as you can hear from the ring announcer, that yes, she is born from Anaheim, California. So technically, as she is here in Sacramento, California, she technically got a little bit of a crowd pop. Although, for her technically living just a few miles away from Sacramento, California, it almost feels like that Allison Drake is having a little bit of a homecoming of her own. However, how will her opponent would be able to square up against Allison Drake here? For that, she's technically wearing the colors of, I want to say Anaheim Ducks. Ain't that the color scheme? I could be wrong. Oh wait, no, she's actually wearing the colors of the Pittsburgh NHL team. I literally forgot what that Pittsburgh NHL team called, but I'm sure if someone was smart that would end up showing up in a chat, they would say something, but yeah. And here is Dallas Carmelo, an actual best friend of Britt Alexander. And there's already happened talks of Carmelo might be actually getting like a main roster call up later in the year. Preferably pretty much as quick as of pretty much as for the summer of this year. Possibly sometime around June or July. There have been rumors for Dallas Carmelo pretty much being thrown in. Now, if there's one thing that everyone is confused here in the SWA is for a woman, why choose the first name Dallas out of anything? Because not only that's literally the name of a state in Texas, no pun intended to Dallas Renegades that wrestle here, but pretty much isn't Dallas more of a boy's name? And pretty much for her, she said yes, but technically she does, as I just got interrupted by a text, but other than that, after Dallas, she technically acts more of like a boy rather than a woman, because she does wear boys' clothes. Don't tell Dallas we said that, because she'll probably hurt us. That the match has begun. It's looking at Alton Drake. Already see pretty much Dallas Carmella to be a weak opponent. Well, in the squared circle, and Alton Drake pretty much just needed a little bit of her feistiness her to try and get into Carmella's head. Also, for those, and even if we want to say Dallas Carmella's last name, no, we're not meaning Carmelo Haynes, although congratulations to him going to SmackDown, though, that was pretty cool. But that aside, pretty much we may just either call Dallas either from her first name or her last name, so I wouldn't get confused if we get anything mixed up. But looking at Alton Drake already was looking for a superplex opportunity, but for Carmelo already missing what could have been a good drop kick to lay down some offense. Pretty much rolling out the ring for Dallas Carmelo, but looking at Alton Drake wants Dallas to get up, and here comes Alton Drake with the Tropicana Hilo landing on Dallas. Now you're trying to pretty much embed the boot onto the lower back before stomping on pretty much the mid upper body with the mid upper part of her back. So I was looking at Carmelo might be able to have some sort of ability, but trying to make the suicide dive attempt, but no one's home. And you gotta remember, this technically would be considered this would be considered to be Dallas's first, or her first match in the XWA alone, pretty much showing up at a pay-per-view. And from the looks of it, she is technically jobbing out to Alton Drake. For Alton Drake, she just noticed a fan holding up a sign saying, Allison, marry me. Looking at Alton Drake and saying, I'll marry you when you're actually at the age to be married. And looking at Alton Drake now has Dallas Carmelo in a tight predicament. Carmelo kicks out at 2. I was looking at Alton Drake, pretty much just looking at Dallas Carmelo like pretty much just either a clone of Britt Alexander, but just pretty much not being able to actually fight. Now Alton Drake going onto the top rope, wanting Dallas Carmelo, but wait a second! And looking at Alton Drake might have just changed her way mid-air. Now I don't know if that's just a change in the airflow since we are in an outdoor arena, or maybe that's what Alton Drake wanted to do. Pretty much she just wanted to make it look like she was jumping directly in the ring, or at least for her to jump to the very outside. But it seems that although she may have hit Dallas Carmelo, now it seems that Dallas is now actually putting up a little bit of a fighting chance to Alton Drake, throwing her to the side as the ref count reaches, ayo ref, thank you. As the ref count reaches 8, but backside the ring for Alton Drake. Now, we like the jobber and pretty much the former big girl, well, Alton Drake, technically see who would win in a trading blows fight. And the SWA universe are just confused on what can this jobber even do. Like, she has potential, don't get us wrong. It seems like not potential to be in the big leagues, and the roundhouse kick connects. And looking at Allison Drake, pretty much just, from in this case, she's technically like playing with her opponent. But now, Allison Drake trying to plant the boot into Dallas Carmelo. Carmelo managed to counter whatever corner attack Allison Drake was planning to use, slamming her pretty much upper back first into the mat. After Dallas throwing Allison Drake into the corner and looking at Carmelo tried to at least use a little bit pretty much of her own fighting style. Technically she likes to kick people rather than going for punches. Had to read how she had extra padding on her ring gear, so now she won't technically hurt anyone. However, judging from that may be alive. And now Allison Drake had to pick up Dallas Carmelo before dropping her dangerously close to the apron. And now just throwing her into the ring post. And this may be the formidable end of Dallas Carmelo, throwing her into the steel stairs. First it was her head, and now technically her entire rib cage is broken. And I don't think an ice pack might be able to help with Dallas Carmelo in this situation. And now as Prism Trap has been held, as Dallas Carmelo was forced to tap. However, it is not in ring. And looking at Allison Drake might just done enough damage to Dallas Carmelo, and that would be it. And seeing that Allison Drake decided to let Carmelo live instead of being laying directly on the mat, face up, looking at the sky. So yeah, Allison Drake does have respect for her opponent. But pretty much after the rest of the team, pretty much in the conference room, pretty much in the prediction room outside of the arena, they have already made their predictions on most of the match. And judging from, and as I'm looking on my watch, well, now I believe that is all. And judging from the list of it, that is all for the kickoff show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But don't go anywhere, but all I will say is don't go anywhere, because coming up next is XWA Moshpit. Don't go anywhere. And I'm just getting these matches done. So all I will say is, yes, it is official. I think it's time for XWA Moshpit. So don't go. So ladies and gentlemen of the XWA, don't go anywhere, because XWA Moshpit begins now.